The struggle that I had, me personally, leaving New York and coming to here, I feel like Palm Bay is a box, and it's an easy way to box kids in. So here it is that you had young people who wanted to do something, but the box that we're in is going to shut them out, limit them. And I think I heard a young person said it, and I will never forget. He said, the Adventist world, we're in a bubble. Call it the Adventist bubble. We really are in a bubble. So with that concept of a bubble, we're all going to be in it, but we want the best for young people. And I think that's what Brevard was. We were in a bubble. We want the best, but in a bubble, only certain things can go out. If the box is not open, then everybody's going to be moving around and shifting but doing the same thing. We're not doing anything different. I think Lake Placid blew our minds, and God had the right set of people there, because it's the right set of people to be able to come back and make it happen. That was the key. Going there, unknown. We didn't know what it was. We just know it was a leadership conference. We don't know what it entails. We don't know what it was. There, as I said, it was a struggle, but exciting because it's something new. The kids are together. They're creating, they're working together. They're putting out ideas that are outside of the box that you had to push to get a little bit. So I think Lake Placid is like, there's thoughts, there's idea, this thing can happen. But you have to work through that. So I think Lake Placid open the box a little bit, so you can then start coming out. And when you're coming out, you start seeing a world that you don't understand, but it gives you the opportunity to step out. And that's what Lake Placid allowed us to do, to step out. The unique thing about Brevard is it's more of a retirement. So we have a lot of older folks in the church. And it's interesting with our pastors that when he came in, the shift, and it's not to take the older folks out because they're valuable, because there's wisdom there. But it's interesting how the church had to change, because I promise you, when I came down to Palm Bay, I'm from New York, so when I came to Palm Bay, I want to say 13 years ago, I think Abigail, who did the flatbread, she was one. And she was the youngest and one of two of the kids here. So she kind of grew up here. Other than that, it was all the older folks. It's interesting that if COVID had happened under the same leadership, this church wouldn't be, because they don't have the skill set to be able to do all this. So there was a shift from there. So you have the more younger parents and the kids now coming in. So prior to COVID, we didn't have anything, but God was leading from 2019, just setting the pace. Because I know prior to that, there was a question about having a church YouTube channel, having a Facebook channel, and it's the same fear. I think what drives the older folks, using Justin words, the older folks, is fear of the unknown. We don't know it, so we fear it. So I think it was a lot of that. And even in our conversation with launching, it was the same thing. What if we get a negative feedback? How we're going to handle it? And we try to plan out. Remember, I told you I'm organized, right? So I like to plan everything out, the pros, the cons, and everything. But all those pieces, we have to let it go and let God. Let it go and let God. So the church has shifted a lot. Because right now, our older population don't come out. But they're connecting still, because now they have Brevard on YouTube and on Facebook, and they can. it's amazing. If I want to learn something, if I wanted to figure out how to do that, I go to them. So they're teaching me. They're teaching me to do things that just okay, and I'm okay with that. They're teaching the elders. As I said, I was talking to you guys in an earlier conversation, like the elders in the church didn't know how to stream. I remember before when the booth was there was a smaller booth, the older was the one to teach the kids how to get on and how to put the songs on the screen and the whole works. Now it's the opposite. And there's a sense of acceptance with that. And I think that also gives the kids those ownership. If the pastor needs something, he doesn't know how to work back there. He's going to them. So that's the reverse, and it's a good culture to have, knowing that I need something, they are my experts. As much as I am, I'm older than them, could be their mom, but I am their mom. They're all mine. And that's the beauty of it, is like, I'm gonna learn from you. But that also build that confidence in them too. They're the kids, they're not just, you listen to me. They have a voice. And that's the beauty of it here, is like they have a voice. And they're teaching us, and we're together at it. You see that sense of ownership. What you see is like, it's not just the church or their church. It's not just the booth, but it's our piece. So you start seeing that sense of ownership. What you'll find is you'll hear them say, you see the small things, the responsibility. When the mics are on, you see somebody go back and make sure that the mics are all off, the TV's off. The booth is all shut down, everything's shut down. Like they may not own that, but that's huge. It's because there's a sense of ownership now. This is our thing, so we have to take care of it. So those are changes. Spiritually, it's always going to be a struggle, because as I said, the devil is attacking, and you see their struggles. But we just have to be patient, step back, and let God do. But so it's small changes, but that sense of togetherness, as you can see in that kitchen. Can I get some of your sauce and put it on the cheesecake? And it's like that connection, that sense of pride, that sense of joy, that sense of laughter. Even in this time where there's still that restraint, there's still that shut down, you can see they have something to look forward to. So and it matters. They really matter to them. So those are good things. So Daniel's Kitchen, as they talk about, is being able to reach young people, to teach them how to eat healthy, to teach them how to cook and to be able to eat healthy, based on the laws of Daniel's. As you saw in the videos, they hit some of the things that there's certain things that they don't eat, so they won't cook on their channel. So that's all about cooking and healthy eating. And the beauty of it is they are who they are. So there's some that this 3 months they are vegan, and the next 3 months they're touching meat all over again. So it's a struggle, but the beauty of it is allow them to grow, and allow them to grow in the way that just we all as Christians grow. Kids Bible study is literally them going into the Bible, find a story, and put the story in their voice, create a video, and being able to do that. And that also is evolving, because there's only so much story in the Bible. So therefore, as you saw Matthew's hidden the prodigal son. I think he had done one on the fruit of the Spirit. So there's other things now that you can tell a story as much as you want, but the application has to come. So I can't wait as they grow to see those applications, not only being able to share it, but they have to apply it to their lives. So God has amazing things planned for them. And then the other piece of the ministry that we started to launch, or we're launching tonight, is poetry, spoken word, where throughout the pandemic during AY, we've split it up that they have to share their talent. So every 4 months, they have to share their talent. They have musicians. So the same cooks you saw in the kitchen, they can play a violin, they can play a guitar, they can throw down on the piano, and they has the opportunity to share that all. And they have. As I said, I just ask, and they'll argue, and Sister McLean, you can't do this, and I'm not doing this, and Sister McLean, all right, okay. And then I get a deal. I do that if I don't have to do that. Okay, all right. So there's ways to be able to get them, but you've seen their talent. So the piece is spoken words, and I can't wait to put it up. I still trying to figure out what we're going to call that ministry, but the poem, one bite, just one bite. It's powerful. It's a sermon in a poem. And I did not want to lose that piece, because David doesn't do the Bible study, nor does he do the cooking. So how do you highlight something else? And the ministry that he wanted to do was sports. So there was a pitch on doing a sports ministry, which is not dead, because health laws, exercise. They can find ways to be able to do exercise videos and being able to put it up there. Just my thought, but they're going to blow me away with taking that and do something that I never thought I couldn't think that's what's going to come, but they're going to do something. And then we have Josh. Josh is another poet. Didn't realize that that was talent sitting here, but these ministries are bringing those things out in our young people. There's a process that God has to take us all through, and go with the stirring and don't be afraid of it. Just trust God. He's going to take you places that you can't imagine, but you have to be willing to let go and trust Him. He has a plan that you know nothing about, but you have to trust Him. And it's scary. I'm going to tell you it's scary, because it is. It creates that pit in your stomach. I just don't know. And there's always a negative side. And I think that conference just brought it home. That negative side can outweigh you even trying. And that's Satan. So you have to know, you have to build that relationship with God too. Because that's over the past couple of years. Since then, I had to build that relationship with Him. Has to be strong, because you have to know who is pulling you. Because the thing is, we all want the best for kids, but there's a fine balance. There truly is a fine balance. Is you can't give them all, but you have to give enough. So the key piece really is to trust God. I mean, you can look at so many different Bible stories. David, Joseph, they didn't know, but they believe, and they have faith that the God that they serve will come through. So it's the same thing. If God is stirring your heart to let go of the preconceived notion that we hold in our head, God can use anything. The Bible says that He can use a stone. So then He can use whatever it is for His glory, even the internet.